This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're coming to you from the Aegis Capital Corp Investment Growth Conference in Las Vegas 2016. I have with me today Jonathan Zurkoff, U.S. Geothermal Inc. It's a publicly traded company on the NYSE, and the symbol is HTM. Jonathan, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you, Shelley. It's good to be back with you.
It's good to have you back. Let's get started with an overview on U.S. geothermal for our audience, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, we are a generator of renewable energy using heat from the earth, or geothermal energy. We have 3 power plants currently operating that generate about 45 megawatts of electricity, and they also generate almost $10 million a year in cash flow.
Sorry.
And we also have a number of projects under development that we hope to bring online over the next few years.
Let's get into those kinds of projects. Are they still the same, geothermal?
Yes, we are strictly we're a pure play geothermal energy producer.
How much geothermal is there out there that you can go after? I mean, it stands to reason you have 3 projects now. I mean, how many more can you put on? Because there's such a demand for this kind of energy, isn't there?
Yes, there is, because the thing about geothermal is it operates 24/7, 365. And so as opposed to wind and solar, which are intermittent, we are base load power, so the utilities really like us. We have 4 projects that we consider advanced stage development projects, and we have 4 projects behind that. So we will be developing new projects for years to come.
Is it across the board, or is it geographically in one specific area? For instance, I know you have some projects out west, right?
Correct. In fact, we have a project here in Nevada, and maybe these lights are being powered by our project right now. But it's a resource-based business, so we have to go where the resource is, kind of like a gold mine. You want one in your backyard, but if there's no gold there, you can't have a gold mine in your backyard. We have to go to where the geothermal resources are strong, and in the U.S., that is the western states in particular, and then there are also other Central American countries are also strong, and we have a project in Guatemala right now we're developing.
So let's explain exactly what the natural resource is that you derive the power from to our audience, and then I want to ask about supply to the grid. Okay, if you would.
Sure. So basically, there are places where the crust of the earth is shallow, and so we could drill a relatively shallow wells, 2,000, 5,000 feet deep, and we find steam, and that steam comes up the well and goes through the turbine and generates electricity. So our challenge is to find those places where there's abundant steam, relatively shallow.
So that's made from hot water, we all know. So where in the earth is it prevalent, and how do you find it? Is it topographical, seismic? Because I'm going back to the gold theory that you started with.
Well, that's a good question. Historically, we explored places where the hot water was seeping out of the earth in the form of hot springs. And there are a lot of hot springs in the western states like Nevada and California. And the state of the technology right now is we're still looking at where it's seeping out, and that's a hint that there might be steam not too deep below where the hot springs are. Ultimately, we want to advance the technology so we could find what are called blind geothermal resources, but that technology is still being developed.
Now, let's talk about the grid. By you producing power, the utilities take your power and put it onto the grid. So in other words, you have a steady customer, don't you?
In fact, the 3 operating projects we forward sell all the electricity those projects generate under 25-year contracts. So the local utility, say in Nevada, NV Energy, they're buying the power off of our Nevada project for 25 years. All of the output is sold with prices that escalate over time for 25 years.
So once you put up the facility, what is it? Just regular maintenance, and it's no big construction, no CapEx once it's done, right?
Exactly. It's pretty much an annuity for 25 years. We get very stable and reliable cash flow off of a project.
What's your background?
I have both degrees in geology and engineering and an MBA, and I've been in project development and finance for 25 years.
And tell us about the rest of the team.
Well, our chief executive officer has been in the geothermal business for 28 to 30 years. Calpine, who is one of the largest independent power producers, owns about 700 megawatts of geothermal in Northern California, and Dennis Gillis, our CEO, operated or managed all of that geothermal power for Calpine.
So we're almost at the end of 2016, heading into 2017. Sitting in your position, what would you like to see achieved? What are some milestones for the next 18 months that you could share with us?
Yeah, no, we think the near-term future is pretty exciting. We have a couple of advanced projects that we need to sign those long-term power agreements with utilities, and once we do, we're ready to start construction. And we are having those negotiations now and going into the beginning of 2017. And once we sign them, you'll see another wave of growth out of our company.
Now, for more information, what website can we send our audience?
Well, it's simple. It's usgeothermal.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Zurkoff, US Geothermal Inc. It's a publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange, and the symbol is HTM. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live from the Aegis Capital Corp Investment Growth Conference right here in Las Vegas 2016. Jonathan, it was a pleasure to have you.
Nice being back with you.
You're welcome.